Hi guys, how's it going? Our today's goal is to make urban chaos even more chaotic. In order to do so, we're gonna do a little bit of modding. Here's a little sneak peek for today's video. Let's start from the beginning. The source code of Urban Chaos has been made public thanks to the generosity of Mike Diskett, a man responsible for this game. Mike uploaded code to GitHub under the MIT license, giving us permission to have some fun with the code. And fun we shall have. I do not want to bore you guys with all in-depth explanation of technical stuff I did to achieve the final result. Unless you want to know about it, then let me know in the comment section. I will do a separate video explaining all this stuff. Let's grab the source code, open up the Visual Studio and compile the code. After successfully compiling the code, we can start doing some science, like changing the gravity, swapping policemen to men in black, or spawning a helicopter after pushing the button. With source code, possibilities are limitless. For today's video, we're gonna try to explore some hidden functionality in the source code, which is the level editor. Interestingly enough, the source code contains many editors for the UC, but in order to compile them, one must endure the path of pain. After successfully compiling the code with editor directive, we are greeted with two additional options in the main menu. Normally, editor option is supposed to take us to the game editor menu, but I've tweaked the code so it takes us to the different editor instead. So here we are in the mission editor. As you can see, it looks pretty old school and it's super zoomed in right now since I'm displaying it on full screen. Very interesting stuff, bunch of options here and there which we will cover soon. First things first, in order to use this editor we need to create a workspace. As you can see, I have already created mine as it is displayed in the top left part of the screen. After creating a workspace, we can add a map to it simply by right-clicking on our workspace and then choosing the map from the game's directory. I have decided to pick the Disturb 1 AM as it is first map where Darcy hits the streets. Finally, after adding a map, we can create a mission for this map. Creating a mission from scratch could take us some time, so instead what we are gonna do is type in an existing mission name and then simply import this mission from game directory. After successfully loading up the mission, icons representing so-called waypoints should be visible in the panel below. Finally, in order to visualize the mission, we simply double-click on the map icon, wait a bit, and voila! Switching missions on a given map will update all the waypoints accordingly. We can navigate freely in the mission inspector simply by using our keyboard. I tried to keep this video as short as possible, but since I'm failing miserably, I might as well try to explain what these waypoints actually are. Simply speaking, waypoints are everything. Waypoints or event points, as they are called in the source code, are part of a mission structure. Event points distinguish different missions on the same map from one another, and they simply describe what type of object and with what properties should be created on a given map. Since waypoints are connected to the missions, they are actually stored in missions UCM files. We could try to pick these files ourselves, but in order to do that we would need some hex editor, as opening them in Notepad would display mostly gibberish. I've created a simple waypoint editor which displays data in human-readable format and let us modify the data from there. But this was before I figured out how to bring mission editor to life. Here in the mission editor we can see waypoints grouped by different types, like cameras, create player, enemies, and so on. Each group can be expanded to list all attached waypoints to a given group. We can navigate our camera to a given waypoint simply by double-clicking on it. We can also preview each waypoint and see its properties. Certain waypoints are dependent on one another. In mission called The Jump, waypoint 55 creates a police officer. This happens, however, only when condition in dependency 162 is met. While condition for dependency 162 is simply a timer. There are many conditions which can activate a given waypoint. Some of these waypoints are simply created when the game starts. Others are created when a player enters a special area. In this next example, depending on how Darcy approaches the jumper, different waypoints are triggered. One successfully finishes the mission, while the other fails it.
Hey man, what's your name? Well, Barnaby, what say you—
All I wanted was—
Hey, you—
No, I wanted
Good grief.
the shiniest.
Hey, all right,
Come back
pal.
and the biggest
Let's—
red—
Wait, no!
Oh, I
Look at
wanna—
the sky.
Fire! I wanna be—
Listen, pal, if I come—
Oh no, I might—
Now wait a—
Jump in any subtlety.
Yeah?
Maybe I'll just pin
You
it back
will?
on a damn
Sure.
elephant.
Right
Get
on!
back here now!
A fellow YouTuber asked me this question about auto-destruct mission. He was wondering if it is possible to make the cop acknowledge the fact that we found an evidence. First of all, after reading this comment I was like, what evidence? So much to my surprise, there are things in the game that I did not know about. So in the auto-destruct mission we are kindly asked to handle the issue with car bombs planted in the Union City. Upon delivering second car bomb to the engineers, we are then asked to arrest the bombers. Finally, after arresting them, we are asked to investigate their hideout to find anything useful. After a short period of time, we get a call from impatient Sarge asking us to return to him.
About anything yet?
Returning to him simply triggers the dialogue which ends the mission.
Maybe it didn't look hard enough. Still,
I never managed to find anything in the hideout, but I promised myself after figuring out how to use Mission Editor that I would dig deeper. And since a fellow YouTuber asked, I decided now it's time to dig. So let's boot up the editor, find out the mission name and the map name for the auto-destruct mission, so we can load the map in the mission editor, starting up from map, and then loading up the mission. And now it's time to investigate, so let's navigate to the hideout area and let's see what do we have here. As you can see, there are many waypoints located in this area, which suggests that we might find some answers here. And now it's time to rotate the camera by 130 degrees, enhance on this object right here. And would you look at that? As it turns out, in this stage certain objects are actually searchable by Darcy. Normally Darcy is only able to search apprehended people, but in this stage devs decided to make these containers searchable as well. There are 5 searchable containers in this area, but only one container conceals an object, and it's this container right here. 247 conceals a videotape. We can confirm that this waypoint is hidden by checking its properties. As mentioned in this comment, the evidence can be found in the hideout, but what can we do about it? Surprisingly enough, containers in the hideout aren't the only objects we can interact with. Let's try this TV over there.
Damn, no sound. What the? I've seen those guys before.
Now would you look at that? Man in Black foreshadowing. Now tell me honestly, how many of you knew about that? I certainly did not. So let's see what happens when we return to Sarge now.
I've seen those guys before.
you find anything?
Nah, place was full of dust and old scrap.
Wait, what?
Thing.
Nah, place was full of dust and old scrap. Nah, place was full of dust and old scrap.
Well, that was disappointing. Let's see if we can find anything else in the mission editor. Luckily for us, mission editor provides answers. As it turns out, this mission has 2 win conditions. Both of these conditions rely on finishing a conversation with a Sarge. First conversation is the one we have already experienced, where Darcy's dementia prevents her from mentioning the tape. Second one, however, is the one which we are trying to get. In order to do that, we need to check what conditions needs to be met for conversation to happen. As you can see, conversation can only occur when 2 waypoints have been triggered. Dependency 169 refers to player entering area around the Sarge, while dependency 248 refers to player holding the tape. So wait, didn't we meet these 2 conditions already? Well, yes, but there is one more thing to mention. After arresting the bombers, we are asked to check out the hideout, where we are given only 30 seconds before Sarge orders us to go back. Unfortunately, it turns out that after this short period of time, our secondary win condition is nullified, a special kill waypoint event is brought to life. So in order to get the secret ending, we need to hurry.
You got the bomb. Where'd it go?
Whoa, what's this? You see in video? punk.
You got the bombing. Way to go. Those
Whoa, what's this? UCNN video?
Freeze! Freeze! Stop! Freeze! Freeze!
Well, come up with anything.
I found this old videotape. It says UCNN News on it.
UCNN. What the hell would the Wildcats be doing with a tape from UCNN?
I think I might know. It could be linked with Gordansky's kidnapping.
Okay, Stern. I'll pass it along to forensics.
With this mystery solved, I'm gonna wrap up episode, but before I do that, I wanna thank you all guys for commenting, liking and supporting my activity here. Special thanks to Tesla Thane for being there during my Twitch streams, which gave me huge encourage boost. See you next time.